Victor Kruger, aka the Kurgan. Kurgan, Mr. Kruger, the Black Knight. Origin, Highlander. Occupation, warrior. Powers and skills, immortality, vast physical superhuman strength, durability and speed, superhuman reflexes, high-level fighting skills, highly skilled swordsman, utterly ruthless, manipulations. Hobby, antagonizing and harassing McLeod, women and every person he encounters, killing people. Goals: kill Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez and rape Connor's wife, Heather. Kill Connor McLeod, aka the Highlander, by beheading him, and kill his new love, Brenda Wyatt, in order to win the prize, which gives to the last remaining immortal vast knowledge about the universe and the ability to enslave the human race. Type of villain: big, bad, complete monster, archenemy, terrorist. The Kurgan, also known as Victor Kruger, was the primary antagonist in the 1986 film Highlander. He is Connor McLeod's archenemy and a highly skilled but yet ruthless psychopathic and manipulative immortal warrior. He was portrayed by Clancy Brown. The Kurgan was a brutal member of a mysterious race of the immortals that had existed alongside humans for centuries. He was a warrior and a member of an ancient tribe of the Russian steppes, known for their exceptional acts of cruelty both on and off the battlefield. One of their activities included kidnapping young children, feeding them to hungry dogs, and watching them be devoured just for fun. Some materials indicated that he had dealings with the barbarian immortals called the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, including their leaders, Mythos and Kronos. A vicious villain, with safety pins barely holding his throat in place, disruptive in church. As far as immortality is concerned, there can be only one: to live and die by the sword. Scott Farkus, aka Scott Farkus, Scotty Farkus, Yellow Eyes. Origin, A Christmas Story. Occupation, neighborhood bully. Powers and skills, intimidation, strength. Hobby, bullying Ralphie and the other children. Goals, to intimidate and coerce the other children. Type of villain, fearmonger, kid villain, bully. Scott Farkus is the main antagonist of A Christmas Story. He is the neighborhood bully who picks on Ralphie Parker, his friends, Flick and Schwartz, and Ralphie's brother Randy. Skut has a right-hand man named Grover Dill. He was portrayed by Canadian actor Zach Ward. Scott Farkus, staring out with his yellow eyes. He has yellow eyes. So help me God, yellow eyes. Creepy child villain. Classic bully villain. Soulless ginger villain. Dr. Walter Jennings, aka Dark Overlord. Origin, Howard the Duck. Occupation, astrophysicist. Powers and skills, vast dark powers. Elemental abilities, lasers, possession, telekinesis. Hobby, tyrannizing the cosmos, harnessing the powers of darkness, possessing living organisms as their host, wreaking havoc and terror. Goals, to rule the entire universe. Type of villain, alien, monster, tyrannical villain. Dr. Walter Jennings is the scientist who brought Howard T. Duck to Earth in the 1986 live-action movie Howard the Duck. While working on an experimental dimensional jumping device, Walter Jennings and his colleagues make a mistake and point it on Howard T. Duck's universe, with the effect of warping him to Earth. The scientists think the machine didn't work, since he didn't see Howard's arrival, but when Phil Blumbert tells him of the alien's presence upon the planet, Jennings is excited for his machine's work, and offers to send him back to his homeworld with the same process. When in the lab, Jennings activates the machine once again. The Dark Overlord of the universe passes through and takes possession of his body, thus preventing Howard to go back to Duckworld. Dr. Walter Jennings is a brilliant scientist whose thirst of knowledge often lands him in dangerous situations. He proves to be somewhat correct, as he tries to send Howard the Duck back to his home world when he discovers his existence. Dr. Walter Jennings was played by Jeffrey Jones. Aggro alien villain, creepy possessed voice, has Super Saiyan tendencies. Full name unknown, aka Cain, Robocop II. Origin Robocop II, 1990. Occupation leader of the cult of Nuke cult. Powers and skills vicious and aggressive. Becomes immensely strong and powerful after being transformed into Robocop II. Hobby ruling over the Nuke cult, embracing and preaching the holiness of the Nuke drug. Goals: produce and sell large quantities of the drug Nuke. Kill Robocop. Type of villain: mechanically modified terrorist. Addicted Dark Messiah. Cult leader: complete monster. Cain is the main antagonist in the 1990 film Robocop II. He is a drug-addicted criminal who serves as the leader of the Nuke cult, violently insane, hopelessly addicted to Nuke, and godlike in his delusions. Cain was an unpredictable and dangerous foe, with a capable and loyal following. Not much is known about Cain's past, yet according to his police report, he served in the Amazon War and was court-martialed, then sent to Damnora Correctional Facility. He was held at Dan Mamora for 4 years until there was a problem with security that allowed him to escape. He then relocated to Detroit and developed the highly addictive narcotic he calls Nuke. Cain resembles everything a person would expect from a cult leader. He is incredibly charismatic and promises all of his cult followers a path to the promised land if they too become addicts on his drugs. However, he is also unpredictably violent and intolerant of betrayal, having one of his own followers dissected alive when he sold him out to the police. Cain appears to be obsessed to a degree of fanaticism towards religion, even using a figure from the Bible as his crime name, Cain. However, one of his major weaknesses would be his addiction, and to a degree a somewhat reliance on his own drug, Nuke, to the point where he considers the power of the narcotic to be divine and pure. This addiction even carries out when he was transformed into Robocop II. He is portrayed by Tom Noonan, robo-terrorist, cyborg drug lord, epic 90s villain. Castor Troy, aka Sean Archer. Origin: Face-Off. Occupation: terrorist. Powers and skills: suave, intelligent, enjoys killing, expert gunman. Hobbies: terrorizing people and places, getting high on drugs. Goals: plot an attack in Los Angeles by planting a bomb in a location that only he and his brother Pollux are aware of. Ruin Sean Archer's reputation and life after switching faces with him. Type of villain: terrorist, psychopath. Castor Troy is the main antagonist in the 1997 film Face Off. He is portrayed by both Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. In order to foil an extortion plot, an FBI agent undergoes a face transplant surgery and assumes the identity and physical appearance of a ruthless terrorist. But the plan turns from bad to worse when the same criminal impersonates the cop. Freelance, domestic terrorist, and homicidal psychopath Castor Troy somehow regains consciousness and now wants revenge on Archer for taking his face. Not only is Troy ruining Archer's mission, but his personal life as well. Most psychotic, most unpredictable, could eat a peach for hours. Baron Von Rotten, aka Judge Doom. Doom. Origin: Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Occupation: Judge of Toontown, stockholder of Cloverleaf Industries. Powers and skills: superhuman strength, durability, agility and speed, thanks to his cartoon powers, vast manipulation on acid and cartoon people, fighting skills, marksmanship, cunning, ruthlessness, wealth, due to his status as Cloverleaf Industries' biggest stockholder, expertise in the criminal justice system. Hobby: manipulating and antagonizing Detective Eddie, Valiant, and Roger, passing judgment onto others, killing Toons with the Dip. Goals: destroy Toontown and build a freeway without interference from Eddie Valiant and Roger Rabbit. Type of villain: corrupt official. Judge Doom is the main antagonist in the 1988 film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He is the former judge of Toontown, Eddie Valiant's arch-nemesis, and the Toon Patrol's former boss. He was portrayed by Christopher Lloyd and voiced by Grigory Rasputin. For the majority of the film, Doom poses as a high-ranking judge. However, he employs tactics that are at odds with traditional views of justice, such as the employment of a mob of weasel gangsters, whom he has hired as his new henchmen, and the execution of Toons through a chemical paint thinner solution called the Dip, which is said to be the only way to truly kill a Toon forever. Judge Doom is a psychopathic, sadistic man who has murdered several people. He has weasel minions that do his work for him, but at the end of the film, he attempts to kill Eddie himself, boasting that he had already done it to Eddie's brother. He dresses ominously, like most villains would, consisting of a dark coat, shady glasses, and a black hat that he pulls over his head slightly. He also walks with a cane, implying he is older or wants to look sophisticated. Self-loathing Toon villain, wrathful, kooky, and maniacal. Simon Phoenix, aka Phoenix. Origin: Demolition Man. Occupation: psychopathic master criminal. Powers and skills: heartlessness, able to instill fear in almost everyone he comes into contact with, quickly adapts to any situation, and uses it to his advantage. Martial arts, guns, trickery, deception. Hobby: killing people. Goals: kill John Spartan. Take advantage of the violence-free society in the year 2032. Kill the Scraps, leader of Edward Friendly on behalf of Dr. Raymond Cocteau. Type of villain: crime lord, evil from the past, serial killer, complete monster. Simon Phoenix is the main antagonist in the 1993 film Demolition Man. He is the most crazed and dangerous criminal of the 20th century. He is portrayed by Wesley Snipes. Phoenix was a wanted criminal responsible for many crimes like theft, kidnapping, rape, robbery, and murder. He declared his own kingdom in South Central, within Los Angeles, having all other street gangs, drug dealers, and even some murderers under his control. In his last crime, in 1996, he made 20 people hostage, but a misjudging of the cop, John Spartan, made all the hostages die. Even worse, the body count of those hostages was 30, as Phoenix planned it, for his appetite for sadistic amusement. Phoenix was found guilty for the murders and condemned, but Spartan also took a part of the responsibility, and the two were frozen in a cryogenic chamber, remaining there for years. Phoenix is completely crazy as well as blatantly sadistic, never caring for rules or regulations, let alone the lives of other people. Exactly what one would expect from a twisted criminal like him. Hates cops, lives underneath future Taco Bell, thought-out terror from the 1990s. Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash. Origin: Iron Man 2. Occupation: disgruntled Russian physicist and terrorist. Powers and skills: high intelligence, good with his electric whips. Hobby: killing people. Goals: get revenge on the Stark family by defeating and killing Tony Stark. Type of villain: big, bad, seeker of vengeance, terrorist. Ivan Vanko, also known as Whiplash, is the main antagonist of the 2010 film Iron Man 2. He was portrayed by Mickey Rourke. Despite his lowly upbringing and lack of resources, Ivan Vanko was a mechanical and technological genius. Ivan was extremely intelligent and was able to create his own arc reactor by using his father's old blueprints and whatever resources that he could find. But instead of using his intellect for better purposes, he solely focused on a vendetta with Tony Stark after his father caused his family to be shipped back to Russia. Ivan was shown to be very arrogant, mocked, and lied to Justin Hammer, a powerful businessman, after he had just broke him out of life in prison. Ivan was an alcoholic, which was a trait that he picked up from his father, Anton. In Soviet Russia, the arc reactor whips you. Jamie Gum, aka Buffalo Bill, John Grant, Jack Gordon. Origin: the Silence of the Lambs. Occupation: psychopathic, ruthless serial killer. Powers and skills: manipulation, high intelligence. Precision: physical strength, murder skills. Hobby: killing women. Goals: escape from the FBI and the police. Kill Clarice Starling. Kill women and make a suit for himself from their skin. Type of villain: serial killer. Jamie Gum, better known as Buffalo Bill, is the main antagonist in the book and in the 1991 movie The Silence of the Lambs. He is perhaps most famous for his line, "It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again." He was portrayed by Ted Levine. Gum kidnaps overweight women so he can starve them. He starves them so that their skin is much looser, so after he murders them, he can more easily remove their skin to fashion a woman suit for himself. He considers himself transsexual, but is too disturbed to qualify for sexual reassignment surgery. He becomes known as Buffalo Bill during his murder spree because of an off-color joke by Kansas City homicide detectives. Upon discovering his first victim, the detectives say, "This one likes to skin his humps." Most creepy, drives a total creep van, narked on by Hannibal Lecter to the FBI. John Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg, aka Zorg, Mr. Zorg, the art dealer. Origin: the fifth element. Occupation: founder and owner of Zorg Industries. Industrialist, weapons dealer. Powers and skills: proficient with handling own weapons designs. Hobby: selling weapons, causing destruction. Goals: steal the 4 elements for Mr. Shadow, aka the ultimate evil. Type of villain: weapon dealer, crime lord, pawn. John Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg is the secondary main antagonist in the 1997 sci-fi action film The Fifth Element. Secretly working for the ultimate evil, he is willing to use any means to reach his goals. He is portrayed by Gary Oldman. Zorg is the lifelong founder and owner of his powerful namesake weapons manufacturing company known as Zorg Industries. Snide, impatient villain, sci-fi Donald Trump villain, sci-fi Hitler haircut. when epic villains of TV and movie history continues.